When it comes to measuring elevated windows, most people naturally default to using ladders or step stools. Some of the more advanced users have experimented with using extension poles, along with the built-in timer function on the Leica DISTO X3. If you go into the DISTO X3 menu, you'll see an icon that looks like this. Inside that menu, you can select a timer for 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or 30 seconds. Now, in our industry, the 2-second and 5-second timers really don't work. So what people end up doing is selecting the 30-second timer. Here's what that process looks like. The extension pole starts in the down position. You press the 30-second timer, then extend the pole all the way up and hold it there until the timer counts down and the laser takes the measurement. After the measurement is taken, you bring the pole back down, start the timer again, extend it back up, and repeat the process. And remember, for one window, you typically need 6 measurements. You're measuring the top width, middle width, and bottom width, then the left height, middle height, and right height. Doing it this way usually takes around 6 minutes per window. In some of our pilot testing, we even saw users take closer to 10 minutes per window if the setup was a little tricky. So we started looking for a better solution. We scoured the internet and purchased dozens of extension poles and mounting heads, trying to find something stable enough to work well with the laser. Eventually, we found a head that performs far better than anything else we tested, and it's for sale on our website. This head mounts directly to the back of the DISTO X3. One important best practice when using this setup is to keep the kickstand on the DISTO folded out to the 180-degree position. The reason is simple. When the laser is mounted to the pole, the ball head can sometimes interfere with the wall, a shelf, or another surface you're trying to measure from. The kickstand offsets the laser slightly, letting you reach tight locations more easily, both for vertical and horizontal measurements. Here you can see what the setup looks like when we're taking a height measurement. And here are a few examples of what it looks like when we're taking horizontal width measurements. When I'm measuring a window like this, my focus is simply on triggering the measurement from the app. Inside the app, you'll see a toggle button in the top right corner. When it's off, it's gray. When you toggle it on, it turns red and a floating trigger button appears. That button mirrors the fire button on the DISTO X3. One quick note, when this trigger mode is enabled, the fraction keyboard is disabled. So if you need to manually enter a measurement, you'll temporarily toggle this feature off, enter your value, and then toggle it back on to continue measuring. Now let's go back to our earlier example in the front living room, where we have 2 transom windows. We'll start with transom AB. Once we toggle the trigger feature on, the floating button appears. Press the button once, and you'll see an indicator showing the laser is transmitting. That lets you confirm the laser dot is positioned exactly where you want it. Press the button a second time, and the measurement is captured automatically. The cursor then moves to the next field, ready for the next measurement. So we measure the top width, then the middle width, and then the bottom width. At this point, we could lower the pole and rotate the head to measure the heights. But our recommended best practice is to keep the pole in the same orientation and measure all the widths first. So we'll press Save and Next, confirm the pop-up, and move directly into the next window, Transom CD. Since the pole is still set up for width measurements, we repeat the same process. Top width, middle width, bottom width. Once we've finished the widths for both windows, we rotate the head to the vertical position and begin capturing the heights. Measure left height, middle height, and right height. Now that the transom CD window has all widths and height measurements, we are ready to move back to the first transom window, transom AB, and capture the last height measurements. Moving back to a previous window is very similar to saving and creating a new window. Instead of the right navigation arrow, we will press the left navigation arrow. The right navigation arrow is the Save and Next button. The left navigation arrow is the Previous Window button. After pressing the left navigation button, we are back in window Transom AB. Now we tap into the first height cell and measure left, middle, and right height measurements. During our time studies, measuring 2 windows like this with the timer method took about 12 minutes. Using the FSS Window Pro extension pole workflow, our pilot users completed both windows in around 2 minutes. And when you scale that across a large job site, those time savings become significant. Let's walk through a practical example of measuring multiple elevated transom windows. First, remember the fundamentals. When we enter a room, we move clockwise, working left to right, and we name the windows sequentially: A, B, C, D, and so on. In this example, we have 7 transom windows across the room, labeled A through G. To start, we configure the extension pole and laser in the horizontal position, since we're going to capture all of the width measurements first. You'll see in the video that we toggle on the extension pole feature inside the app. Once that's active, we begin measuring window A. We capture the top width, then the middle width, and then the bottom width. Once those 3 measurements are complete, we press Save and Next. That automatically moves us to window B, and we repeat the same process: top width, middle width, bottom width. From there, we simply continue moving across the room. Window C through F, 3 widths. And finally, we arrive at window G, where we capture the last set of width measurements. Now that all of the widths are complete, we need to switch to measuring heights. At this point, we rotate the extension pole head from horizontal to vertical. You'll see in this clip how that works. With one hand, loosen the adjustment knob. With the other hand, rotate the head into the vertical position. Once the head is secured, we're ready to continue measuring. Since we finished on window G, the cursor is already positioned in the left height field for that window. So we simply capture the left height, the middle height, and the right height. Now, instead of moving forward through the windows, we're going to move backward through the job. So we press the left arrow, Save and Previous. That moves us back to window F. We tap into the height field, capture the left height, middle height, and right height, and then press the left arrow again. This continues moving us back through the windows. Window E, then D, then C, then B, and finally A. By working this way, we measured 7 elevated windows and only had to rotate the extension pole head once. This workflow is exactly how the app is designed to function, helping you move efficiently through jobs with multiple elevated windows. Now, let's finish with a few best practices when using the extension pole. First, remember that the DISTO X3 kickstand should be extended to the 180-degree position when mounted on the pole. This helps avoid interference between the mounting head and nearby surfaces. Second, if you ever finish taking a measurement and you're not completely sure the laser landed exactly where you wanted it, don't worry. Just like when you're measuring a normal window at ground level, it's very easy to correct. All you need to do is tap back into that measurement field and then simply re-trigger the laser. The app will capture the new measurement and replace the previous value. So if something looked a little off, or you just want to double-check your number, you can re-measure it in seconds and keep moving through the job. Third, you'll find that adding a small cant angle to the extension pole is extremely helpful. Typically, somewhere between 15 and 25 degrees works well. The higher the window you're measuring, the more angle you may need. That slight tilt allows you to maintain a clear line of sight to the laser dot while keeping the pole comfortably positioned. If you stand directly underneath the window without that angle, it becomes very difficult to see where the laser is landing. Before using the extension pole on a real job site, it's a good idea to practice. And you don't even need a window to do that. You can practice measuring the top of a wall, the top of kitchen cabinets, or even bookshelves. Spend a few minutes getting comfortable rotating the head, adjusting the pole angle, and triggering measurements from the app. Once you've done that a few times, the process becomes very natural, and it dramatically speeds up measuring elevated windows in the field.